And good evening from Las Vegas. Welcome to the Sports Adrenaline Las Vegas show. The Vegas Golden Knights are in Edmonton tonight as the regular season winds down for the Pacific Division champions. Dana White calls Conor McGregor, his actions today, criminal, disgusting, and despicable. It sounds like a regular edition of our show.
That was a good one.
Yeah, after McGregor's attack on a bus that was carrying UFC fighters in New York. The Canelo Alvarez Triple G rematch on Cinco de Mayo, as we know, is off, and maybe we'll speculate who will be the replacement for Canelo. It's opening night for the AAA Las Vegas 51s. News from the UNLV campus as baseball is traveling east, and the football Rebels back on campus following spring break. We'll also have an update on the Las Vegas Lights soccer team. Tony Cardasco, along with John Castanino, Rick Strasser, Matt Gutierrez.
John's over there. He'll be back.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a second. Luis Negretti's here with Luis's Pieces.
That's a good one.
Produced by Richard Giacovino. Haley Brooks. We could call her Haley's Comments, or we could call her Babbling Brooks, right?
Oh,
so, anyway.
Yeah, you only say that when she's gone.
Yeah, I know. I'm just...
What I miss?
He's making fun of Haley.
How you doing tonight? Speaking of the night off, let's talk about the knighthood.
Luis, put your mic on.
Let's do it.
Luis is here.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. Yeah. So
how about those Knights?
Yeah, how about that? The
Pacific Division champs.
It just says division champs.
Well, you know what division they play in, Tony?
That's a knockoff hat.
Well, you know what? Then the Armory's selling knockoffs. What do you want me to do?
It's a Fanatics hat. This is official team apparel.
No,
I know
it's
what
not
it is.
Fanatics is located in North Las Vegas.
They still won the division.
Yeah, I knew that. But the Golden Knights have faced off. Rogers Arena, Edmonton. Score, what, end of two now?
End of two. 2-1 Knights.
With half the team resting. 2-1 Golden Knights, Tony.
Nice.
What do you make of that?
Whatever.
Just another game?
I mean, they clinched the division without Perron or Smith on the ice, but that's irrelevant.
Or Howla.
Coincidence that they're winning
Fleury.
tonight? Brandon Peary, how about that, huh?
How about that?
Yeah.
Very good. And then also Zach Whitecloud, the 21-year-old defenseman from the Bemidji State.
Yeah.
He was in the lineup tonight. Whitecloud, who was a free agent, signed a 3-year contract, in March? Yep, and he's playing in his very first game tonight for VGK. Who got the scoring going tonight?
Peary McNabb got the first one. Peary got the second one. So he's got 3 in 2 nights already since being called up from Chicago, making an impact. Nice. I like that. I mean, it shows what kind of depth this organization has already. Not to mention all the draft picks that they stockpiled in the expansion draft and whatever they've got coming to them going forward.
That they're going to use to get another Carlson in the offseason?
That'd be nice. Another 40-goal scorer.
Yeah. In place of Carlson?
No,
not
another Carlson.
Yeah, that would be great.
We're going to have to replace Neal.
Well, you know they went after him before the trade deadline and weren't able to work something out.
Absolutely.
So what tells you that they wouldn't go after him? Again, if you don't know who we're talking about, what's his first name? Carlson from the Ottawa Senators, who actually has been, looks like he may be done for the year. Went through a family tragedy.
Lost his dad or something, right?
No, he had a stillborn child.
Yeah.
And,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he missed several games, as well he should, and came back for a few. But the fans noted in Ottawa that on his as he was leaving the ice after the last home game, he picked up a puck and waved it at the fans. So, you know, he may be done for the year because
he his pants is what he did.
He didn't go with them. Well, I wasn't going to say that. He didn't go with them on the trip. So, don't be surprised if we have a second Carlson.
They made a push for Carlson at the trade deadline,
right?
And they were the last ones in it, trying to get him from Ottawa. Whether or not Ottawa was asking too much or they just didn't really like what the Knights were throwing at him, who knows? I don't think we'll ever know the exact details of that potential trade. But obviously Carlson is high on their list. He'd be a huge addition to the defensive side of this team. I mean, he may be the best defenseman in the league. So I think that's a huge get if they can bring him over.
We thought that Riley Smith was going to play tonight in Edmonton. He's skated today with the live jersey, with the white jersey at the morning skate. But
I'd like to see him in one game before the playoffs.
Yeah.
So hopefully he gets in that Calgary game on Saturday.
I mean, and Gallant said he's not ready, and he's now missing 15 games in a row. This is the 15th game tonight that he's missing.
It could just be, your legs aren't ready kind of thing. I'm sure if he
precaution.
Right. If he's not healthy, they're not going to have him out there in a white jersey. He'd be skating in practice with the red jersey on. So I don't think health is an issue at this point. I think he's just trying to get himself back into some kind of game shape. You don't want to throw him out there and have him be sluggish for game 1 of the playoffs. Get him ready to go. See what you got.
Well, and we've seen how good this team is when they have all the pieces together. Obviously, we've seen how good they can be. The last 20 games, it's kind of been hit and miss. A lot of 1-goal games. A lot of they've had a few losses, but they've also had a lot of pieces missing. So heading into the postseason, if they can have all the pieces in order and everybody back, why do we not think that this is going to be the team that we saw through November, December, before a lot of these injuries happened?
Yeah, ask Tony that. Tony, we're asking you that.
Well, when are they going to go through that fall out of the lead stretch that you're waiting for?
The fall out of the lead. I thought it was just
they're
going to
play the Kings in the first round,
Uh-huh.
and the Kings, even if the Kings lose that series, it's going to be a physical series. So I don't see VGK getting out of the second round.
Why? Because they have a physical first series? Who are they going to play in the potential second round? Sharks or Ducks, right? That's not going to be a physical series. So the Knights apparently are a small, weak, fragile team that can't handle the drubs of hockey.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what you're saying. At least that's what it sounds like you're saying.
I just said they're not going to be able to
Matt,
withstand.
Matt does, to be fair to Tony, Matt does like to speak for other people quite often.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
I guess so. Thank you. Thanks. You had my back for once.
Well,
Thanks,
but
bro.
still, I would like your answer, though. So I'm not actually having your back.
How far do you think they get in the playoffs?
I say if they make it through the first round, they're lucky.
They
won't make it in. They won't make it through 2.
Well, if they make it through the first round,
just gonna be
don't you
honest.
think the Kings are a tougher matchup than either the Ducks or the Sharks?
Yes, I think they will be.
So if they make it through the Kings, what's saying that they wouldn't go on to the conference finals?
Because the Sharks and the Ducks are going to play really light, weak,
I'm
non-physical hockey.
I'm curious what the answer is there.
Oh, yeah. Go. I need you to say something before I just jump in here. Yeah, I'm waiting for something valid from you.
I think the Sharks, the schedule was bad towards the end of the season.
He's just doing it to stir the pot. He doesn't really.
The schedule was no. The schedule was really bad for the Sharks. If they do go into the second round.
What about when the schedule was good?
I think the Sharks they had a winning streak. So watch out for the Sharks in the second round.
They had So the
Wait, they'll be
schedule
back healthy. They won't be worn down.
That's how they went on their winning streak, right?
The schedule was bad towards the end of the season, but they won 8 of their last 12 games.
I don't feel confident that VGK will get out of the first round. I don't.
You didn't feel confident they'd get 100 points? You didn't feel confident they'd win the Pacific?
You thought
you
they
didn't
were
feel
going to win the
confident
Stanley Cup 2 weeks ago.
But
then also at the start of the
playoffs to begin
season,
with.
you were just like everyone else, saying that they were going to be just an average team. They were an expansion
Yes,
team.
but guess what happened? I started watching the games.
Well, we all watch the games.
Do you? I'm curious.
So
in between car chases, I watch the games. In between car chases.
So good.
James Neal missed 2 months.
Yes.
Or not, excuse me. Fleury missed 2 months.
Right.
James Neal misses about a month or so.
Month, yeah.
Riley Smith has missed a boatload of games. Perron's been out for
15 games.
a couple weeks.
For Riley Smith. Yeah.
So you're saying that they're going to be beat up. I mean, I get that they have injuries now, but they're not going to be fatigued after a long first series.
Well, apparently
half the team has missed, a dozen games or so. So
we'll see. Second season is
great.
a lot
That's
more.
a great argument.
The second season is so much more difficult.
Who's the better team, Tony?
Right now?
No, period. Who's the better team?
Than who?
Kings or Knights?
Right now?
Who's the better team?
VGK.
There you go. Why
It's
can't
not
they win
saying
that
that they're
series?
How
win
hard
the
was that
series.
for you to admit, though?
It hurt. Did you hear him choke on his tongue there for
That
a
one
second?
really hurt. Yeah.
That is a tough first-round matchup for them. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup.
They're going to want
And it's gonna
revenge
be-
for
it's gonna
all
be a
those
lot of
tough
fun to
games.
watch.
Yeah. I mean, they're a frustrated, mad team.
They have identical records against each other. They're 2-1-1.
They're frustrated and they're mad.
No, I really have.
How
picked
could
up-
each team be 2-1-1?
They're both 6-2-2. What do you mean? How?
So they're 2-1-1.
Yeah.
Both teams against each other.
They both won 2 regulations. They both won 2 regulations. They both won. Or excuse me, they
that
both
would
had
be-
2 wins.
Oh, like the
They
math
both lost
doesn't
the
add up
regulation.
there.
No.
It's okay. No.
They both won a game. They
No,
both
we
won
got
2
you.
games.
It's
They
all
both
good.
lost one in overtime,
Feels
and they
like
both
Monday,
lost
yeah.
one in regulation. 2-1-1.
No, it's taken me like 16 months we've been doing the show, but I really have finally figured out Tony's game. He really is the contrarian, and all he does is stir the pot.
Good.
That's it. And he has no
I
factual
love it.
evidence.
I do
Tony
have
is a
facts.
closet Golden Knights fanboy. and will not let his.
Do you have any
his
proof?
Fandom be no. Well,
Have
this
any
is my proof. What are you
that
talking
I'm a
about?
Knights fan?
I'm not a fanboy.
Hold on, where's his avatar? Pull his avatar
Yeah,
up.
exactly. We
There's
should.
my
You couldn't tell that it was me.
There's my proof.
You couldn't
Tony
even tell it was
Cordasco's,
me.
That's because you made a
Facebook.
Bitmoji that looks Hispanic. Why'd you do that?
Crossing a line.
Yeah,
Crossing, no.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, Brandon Perry,
one.
let's talk about him.
Yeah, let's talk about Brandon Peary.
Yeah, so
we
Peary
talked
with
about
2
him
goals.
on our podcast on Monday, I believe,
Right.
or Tuesday. Excuse me.
2 goals
Yeah.
against Vancouver, right?
A goal tonight.
1 goal tonight. That's not a hat trick, Matt. I know you don't know all the hockey rules.
Oh, here
yet.
we go. 2-1-1.
That's
Look
over
it up,
2.
Tony.
A hattie.
Look it up.
I think it's a hattie.
Don't set me off. No hatties. We don't use that term here. But no. So I mean, you've got him. He started tonight with Carlson and Tuck on that first line. So there is some depth there. And Eric Howlett also returned, right, tonight?
Yes, he's playing.
Good.
Okay.
William
Can we talk about-
Carrier
you
has
talking
been
about
a
Perry?
big addition coming back since
you okay?
since his injury
Carrier,
as well.
yeah.
He's been great defensively.
What's he back
think
2
what-
games?
Carrier's going to knock Reeves out.
No.
I think.
No.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Don't be surprised.
Reeves
Not a
is going to
chance.
be key in
This
that
team
LA
played-
series.
He
This
doesn't
team
have to
played
score,
better with
guys.
Carrier.
He does not have
team
to
played
score.
better with
Reeves
Carrier.
doesn't have to score.
But they're
We've
a
seen
better
that.
team
We've
with
seen
Carrier.
that.
Well, but
He
They're
led
a
to
better team with
to
Carrier.
Carlson's break. I mean, he had a hit on that play.
But
He's
also
had
in the
another
postseason,
hit that
it
propelled
becomes
the
more
team.
physical, and
Carrier's
they
a
call
physical
less
player.
penalties. So that's where Reeves is going to be integral for this
It's gonna
team in
be-
the
Carrier is a
postseason.
physical player.
It's going to be a tough series. Tough.
Can I get back to Peary really quick?
Yeah.
3 goals in 2 games now.
Yes, that's
right?
not a hat trick.
Can
Gordie
I-
Howe,
can I-
Gordie
can I
Howe or
fin- can I
otherwise,
please
that's
finish it?
definitely not a hat trick.
Can I finish?
Yes.
I was saying before we came on, he's making a run. If any injury sustained, I think this is a kid. You go with the hot hand, and you leave him on the roster, right? The rosters are, you can expand them as far as you want, have as many healthy scratches or scratches as you want. I think you go with a hot hand, and if there is some doubt with some of these other guys, I'm not saying start him over Riley Smith or Perron, right? I'm not saying that. If those two are healthy, I'm just saying if there's some nicks and some scratches, that he gets an opportunity on the third line.
You're going to need a few injuries, though, because, I mean, you have Perron, Smith, Marchessault all out right now.
Mm-hmm.
So all 3 of those guys come back. That bumps him way down the line. You're going to need to move other guys out of the way to even give him an opportunity. That's a lot of
But at the same time, it's not like
somebody's got to you got to ride the hot hand, like I said. And
He hasn't
I would
been
think,
there all year, though.
But right, but still, I mean, I would think that this team understands enough what got them to this point. Now, granted, they didn't
Not
have a lot of.
Peary.
They didn't have a ton of injuries on on the top 6 or whatever. I mean, Neal was the big one, but this is a team that doesn't have egos, right? So if they put their egos aside and realize, hey, this kid is scoring goals for us, nobody should have a problem with him being in the lineup, whether it's being in the bottom 6 or the top 6.
Well, I mean, I think the key is, though, if you need him, he's there. But it's not like you got a guy coming in who doesn't have NHL experience. I mean, he has 260-some-odd games under his belt already. I mean, playing with, who was he with? The Islanders, I think, before. So, I mean, he's an experienced guy, which is a good thing.
Do we want to go to Luis?
We'll go to Luis, but first, for all of you guys on the panel, the closest that you will come to the Stanley Cup will be on Saturday night, 6 p.m. till the end of the third period at City National Arena.
Wonder what it's like to live in 1994 for that long.
Yep.
Luis, how are you, man?
Look at this guy. Last word
for
McGee
Haley
over
today.
here.
So Jake Gutierrez,
Yeah?
he's
I'm glad he got that name right.
he wants to tell Tony that when are you ever gonna admit that the Knights are not a fluke and they're actually for real?
Thanks, Jake.
Never will. He wants the comments.
Yeah, when your son has a night off, we might come clean.
And Joe Gambo says, "What's up, man?"
Joe.
And
Haven't seen Joe in a while.
Somebody needs to say hi to me.
there's nobody yet right now. For
Somebody
that.
say hi to me.
Somebody said,
Nobody
hey,
say
I want to wait.
Dan Murray said, nice polo, Rick.
Thank you.
yeah,
If
you
you're
did.
watching and you know me, I want you to say hi to me. Make a comment,
Don't do
please.
it.
Say hello.
Don't do it.
That's
Please.
a nice shirt
Don't do
you
it.
have
Say
on
hello.
there, Luis, too. Way to
Oh,
represent.
thank you.
Everyone else bailed
Now,
on us.
don't let the laptop that you might see in front of Luis fool you. He's actually using my phone because he doesn't have a Facebook account. So
He has a
therefore
no
he cannot.
Facebook.
Therefore, he cannot access any of the comments.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't give away the secrets.
Well,
What's going on
listen,
here?
But no, 2 weeks ago he just said he had a story about his father beating his you-know-what because he got on social media. Am I accurate?
What did
Not
you
on
just
social
say?
media, on Facebook.
On Facebook, right.
He's got the,
That's
got
it.
the
So
hidden Twitter account.
So
Dad
Twitter's
scheduled-
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Twitter's okay.
Can they tweet at you? Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. He does have a Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm going
How
to
many
take that
followers
Philip
do you have?
Mueller as a what up.
I got 1,090
That's mine.
all yours.
something.
Yeah, okay. All right, great.
You
And
got
I'm
it?
not
What else?
following more people
That's-
than I'm getting followed.
Philip Mueller said Kings. Philip
Kings.
Mueller said Kings.
Philip also said
He was
what up?
clarifying his previous comment.
He
You got to
said
read it all
Kings.
together. It's in
All right.
context. Tony.
Philip, please correct
No,
me.
he's not. He's not going for the Kings. He's going for the Knights.
He just clarified
He
his
just-
comment
yeah,
about
yeah.
how
All
the
I see
series
is
played out
Kings.
this year.
No,
No.
just said King. All right. Anything else
Anything
going
to
on?
fit
You're
your
a piece
narrative
of
there,
work,
Tony.
All right, if you watch, because I invited you, say hello. Comment, please. Say hello to
Oh my
Rick.
gosh, Rick is starving for attention.
I want
on
some
the
attention at the end of the desk tonight.
So, Tony, in all honesty, where do you see the Knights going in the playoffs?
He said it like 3 times.
No. He's got a bunch of ifs and maybes. How do you see them doing in the playoffs?
First series, I'm not sure if they get out of it. I don't.
You don't
I
think they win one series?
Don't know.
Home ice?
There's just more
A team with
experience.
110 points, 50-plus wins,
They have
you don't think
109
they
right
can
now.
win?
How much?
They're gonna get
How
another
much more
one.
experience? do
Marc
they have?
Andre, career year?
Career year, but look at him in the playoffs last year.
He was
does
great in
that
the
matter?
playoffs last year.
So they had to replace him.
right.
in net.
No, when what's his name got healthy, they
I
replaced
feel like
him.
we're berating Tony enough. He's starting to crack, just so you
Yeah,
guys
he-
know.
yeah,
Okay,
he's
can we
starting
talk
to
about
crack.
something else?
Some-
Because I don't want to
We need to keep on riding this
Flimsy
until he
argument.
totally
I'm going to just
cracks.
say one thing that
Yeah.
they're going to steal on social media again.
It's tough 3 against 1. I know, Tony. You can
no,
only
no.
keep up the facade for so
I will
long.
say I'm going to stand by this. There will be no May flowers. That's it. No May flowers.
I disagree.
They're going to steal that too.
Disagree.
Bloom in
social media.
June. What is it? May flowers bloom in June, right?
No.
What's the same?
April showers.
April showers, May
Flurry,
flowers.
May flowers.
No, I mean, I
on.
got that part.
Come on.
Yeah,
So
the
there-
flurry won't
there's
be there
The
in
June
May.
swoon.
He
Sorry,
will.
but that's for Cubs
He will.
fans. June swoon.
So
Always
Hasn't
goes back
happened
to
in a while.
Chicago. Any
Hasn't
other
happened in a
Chicago
while.
references you want to make, Wilbon?
playoff. They're going to steal it. I don't want to give them everything.
We've been talking about your Kings for like the past 20 minutes.
My Kings.
Yeah.
My Kings.
Your former Kings.
Well, you can't. Yeah.
Former Kings fan.
Right. Former.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
What's
playoff
next?
games? April 11th and the 13th, right?
Is that? I don't know if that's
Is that correct?
confirmed.
Okay.
It,
That's
well,
what
it has
looks
to be
like.
because of your boy JT.
JT,
I know
my
my boy.
Your boy.
My boy JT.
I know you're
Suit
going.
and tie.
You're going,
Yeah, suit and
right?
tie.
I know
That's
you're
my-
going.
That's my jam.
He's good live.
Suit and tie.
14th and 15th. He'll be
Yeah.
there.
Can you get us
Tickets
tickets?
still
Like
available.
you could get us golf, round of golf.
Wait, did you get us press passes for the NHRA event? No.
That's
Well,
on-
you know
that's on
what?
Bailey.
You would be a no-show, and we'd never be able to go again. So no, I didn't fill out.
I do want to say. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was going to talk about playoff tickets, season tickets. I believe playoff tickets are all gone. Maybe there's some single standing.
I
room
saw
only.
standing room only
Don't
yesterday
sell
or
your
the day
tickets.
before.
For how
Sell
much?
your tickets for the playoffs.
For the flight deck, which is all inclusive, it was $250 per.
Crazy.
But I mean,
That's playoffs.
it's playoffs.
Yeah,
Whoa.
It's 100% markup.
Philip Mueller, thank you.
And then season tickets, they had the open house yesterday at T-Mobile Arena, and a lot of complaints on social media with people that wanted to get in. There weren't any tickets available, so I believe that they're pretty much all gone except for single seats. And essentially, if you got on this waiting list, I don't know how far down they could go. I know they added, quite a bit of season tickets for next year, but there's a full-on waiting list.
Once they're
now,
gone,
so
they're gone. What are you
maybe
gonna
it's-
do? I
Maybe
mean-
we're going to turn into a city that has a 5, 10, 15-year waiting list to get season tickets to the Golden Knights. That's a good thing. Sorry if you didn't get in day one, like somebody on this.
Who are you selling your playoff tickets
I-
to?
Free jersey
I
to get?
don't know.
Anybody wearing silver and black,
A
apparently.
Golden Knights fan, of course.
Are we going to hear from anyone from the Golden Knights or?
Oh yeah. Hey, we got sound.
We do have
Oh
sound.
yeah. Did we play any of the video? We should
No.
be showing
Haven't
about.
played anything
Well,
yet.
You know,
We've just been yelling
here's
at Tony
thing.
the whole
Well,
time.
here's the thing: is that Tony wants to talk about things that are not really relevant. Let's talk about the Pacific Division clinching home.
Yeah.
Let's see, regular season finale, which we have video of, Rich. So go ahead and start rolling that, and you'll see the last 2 seconds of the last regular season game at T-Mobile Arena, where there was a massive celebration. And there it is. Thank you very much. Fly the flag everywhere, right? And you're going to see it in a half second up on the scoreboard. Pacific Division champions for an expansion team that Tony Cordasco, again, doesn't think that they deserve to be here or
No,
be able to
I
win
didn't say they don't
or whatever it is. I like that. So then we have this video, and then the
Don't
next
put
video is
words
coming
in
up.
my mouth.
They did the season-ending awards, which were really cool. So the fans got to vote on some. The seventh man was Wild Bill Carlson with the amazing season that he had. They honored Marc-Andre Fleury for his
Talk about
400th
Carlson's
win.
goal, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
Tony glosses over all this stuff.
I've talked
just
about
glosses
it.
over
I'm
it.
tired of talking.
Yeah.
about
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
talked about
Oh,
it
I'll
on the
bet you
show
are.
yet.
I'll bet you are.
Do that in the playoffs.
So the regular season finale, it really was full circle. I mean, they did an awesome tribute to the October 1 shooting victims. They raised
Beautiful
the banner,
ceremony ahead of time.
right?
And to retire the number 58.
Completely.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But why is the 58 not on the banner?
They'll probably retire it separate, I would imagine. Where he's
I
a
thought
separate
that was
banner.
the retirement of the number.
That
I'm
I
wondering
can't
if they'll
answer
throw
for
a
you.
separate
I just know that
58
that's the
up
best
there.
banner to be raising. I mean,
It was
the first
beautiful.
banner.
To have
It was
a first
beautiful.
banner? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it
absolutely.
was absolutely beautiful. But I was surprised that it didn't have a 58.
Yeah, players throwing gear into the stands. You know, talk. I
To
mean,
season ticket holders, not to the kids.
you know what? This team and these players
What a
None of the
rag
season ticket holders
have
brought kids with
connected
them.
with the
How
city
much of
like
their
no
gear
other
did they
team
throw
in the
into the
league.
stands? Hopefully it wasn't too much.
Yeah, it wasn't too much.
I saw some pucks flying there.
But that,
A lot of
it was
elbow
really, it
pads
was a
and-
really
Yeah,
great
yeah, keep it above
night
the
at
waist.
T-Mobile.
Yeah.
One of the best of the year. And when you think about memorable games, you're going to think about
Think they
obviously
sign
the
that
opener,
later?
and you're going to think about this game and maybe a few of those other wins that they got. You know, out of the 29. What do they get at home? 29 wins, 30 wins. It was
I
somewhere
think
around
29
there.
and 10. 29,
Something like
10,
that.
and 2 or something like that.
All right, is that it?
We have a lot more actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to stick with Golden Knights for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Want to go to?
Well, no.
Let's
I thought we were going to.
No, let's go to Marshy. We're going to go to Marshy first.
Oh,
Here's
Marshy.
Jonathan Marsha show after, again, the Knights
Jonathan what?
clinched the division. Marshy.
Marsha
Marshy show.
Marsha show.
I would love to see that happening.
Marshy, I'm sure you already answered it, but just what was that ceremony like after the end of the game? A big win, big goal for
Yeah, I mean, just the crowd just so excited, and it's been great. I mean, I think they earned it. Have a win like that last home game, and it's been a great experience overall.
What does it mean when we tell you, you hear that you're a Pacific Division champion?
Feels great. I mean, can't be more happy. I'm all about surprises, and definitely everybody in that locker room was surprised to have a good year like that. And I'm just so happy to be a part of that team with my teammates, and I think we're all proud to be a Golden Knight.
What's going through your head when you see him go between his legs?
Well, I just can't believe he actually did that. I mean, it's definitely surprising, and I think everybody knew it was going in, but we just didn't know how. So he definitely pulled a great trick off his bag, and it was a good play.
Would you ever do something like that?
Bring it back. March. So I think I love his game right now. I love what he brings to the table. One of the leaders all season long in points on this team. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't until just the other day that Carlson took over the points lead on the team. But
Yeah.
Marchessault, and he was the first one that they made sure they signed.
They signed him
They
early.
signed moving
second.
forward.
I think they signed McNabb first.
Did they sign
They
McNabb?
signed
McNabb
him
early in the
early,
season.
though.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah, early in the season they signed
But
him.
they got Marchessault signed and taken care of.
He's 5
Um,
years,
That's my,
right?
I told you that's my favorite player on the team.
March so.
I've told you that from day one. And also, I told you guys as well that I've watched a lot of the opponents, feeds, and all they do is rave about him constantly. I guess there's a lot more to his game than even we see as fans.
Well, and
as casual
he's,
fans.
he's the type of player. I mean, he's 5'9", and he's
Hey, John,
he's
welcome
not
back.
that big, but he's not afraid to mix it up to get the puck back. He's great with the stick and getting turnovers in the zone, and he's an all around player.
That line is ridiculous.
Yes.
You've got Smith, him, and Carlson.
Oh, yeah.
Was the best
It's an
line in the
amazing
NHL.
line. Yeah. And you mentioned that goal. That Carlson goal was
The greatest goal I've ever seen.
it was unreal. I mean, the speed that he came in with, the fact that it was shorthanded, to get away just to avoid the poke check was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he saw that coming or if it was just
Well,
just
and when
was
the
an
poke check
instinctual
came,
play,
he
but
was going so fast. I
It's
think
almost
that it
like
was just instinctive.
It's almost like he
Instinctive.
kicked the stick with his right foot, right skate, and
Yeah.
then went between the legs. Afterwards, Nate Schmidt said, and I completely agree with him, how in the world do you even have the stones to do that in that moment?
Right. Yeah.
How do you even think to try that?
I was like, he's going too fast to do anything. How's he going to okay, so I'm watching the game at home, and I'm thinking, as he's breaking away, that he's going to score, and he just gives a short glance back, and he's accelerating, right? So he's going so fast.
No, he was flying.
That was just instinct. Absolutely.
It was hilarious. I don't know if you watched it on TV or not. I went home and watched it after the fact, of course.
I've seen the replay.
Watched that goal 1,000 times.
200 times.
Shane Knighty was hilarious. He said,
He
last time
saw
I
it
tried
when
that,
it
I
happened.
tripped myself and flew into the boards.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean.
And when it happened, I don't think, because watching it live, I was just excited that they scored, obviously, and took the 3-2 lead shorthanded, no less. But the fact that he did that at that moment, even to try it, and to me, that's even a testament of the freedom that Gallant gives these guys, because he trusts them on the ice. And I mean, if he's nervous about making a mistake, he doesn't even try it. But he's letting them play the game that they play, and it was brilliant.
Can we hear from the man?
Yeah, let's hear from the man himself. Here's Wild Bill Carlson.
You got here in September. You probably didn't know a whole lot about the city other than what you've seen on TV. Now that you've been here for 6-7 months, what has this city kind of meant to you, and how have you grown as a resident of Las Vegas?
Well, it's my home now, and I really like it here. I mean, you got everything you need. You have the normal life out here in Summerlin, and you got the craziness down at the Strip. So I'm enjoying life, and I'm happy to call Las Vegas my home.
What do you expect to see from these 3 teams coming up this week? All Canada road trip, 3 teams that aren't really playing for anything anymore, all eliminated from playoff contention. Do you expect to see kind of a laid-back approach from them, or do you think they're going to want to play spoiler and really go after you guys?
I'm thinking they're going to go after it. I think they want to finish off too in a good way. Maybe cheat a little in the offensive side. So we'll see. We've got to be on their toes, and hopefully we can come out and dominate.
So Carlson's expecting a little cheating from the other teams in the offensive end. I mean,
That's the only way.
yeah, he's
right?
thinking these guys
There
are
was
going
an
to
offsides in the last game.
Yeah, he's thinking obviously they're going to play hard down the stretch and try to finish out their seasons on an uptick. I mean, obviously none of these teams are playing for anything anymore. We saw what Vancouver did, 3 goals in the third period to take that game to overtime. You got 2-2 here in the third with Edmonton.
Oh, have we complained about any goalie interference yet tonight?
I'm sure it's coming. There's goalie interference on every.
That was legit goalie interference on. It was
Which one?
Fury that got knocked
No,
into the goalie,
the last
right?
2, no,
Yeah.
no. Go ahead.
What is
we have another package.
What is goalie interference at this point? Does
Okay.
anybody really know?
It's like the catch.
You know what?
It's
Have your defenseman
terrible.
clear them out in front, and then we don't have any issues.
Hey, is Carlson signed moving forward? He's not signed yet.
That's
No.
a good question.
Nobody
We'll
needs
look
to
it up
be.
on the break. I
He's
don't.
not,
I don't.
right?
I think
I don't
he might
think
have
he
another
is.
year on his deal. We can find that out really
No,
quickly.
they need to sign him to a long-term deal.
This past week, Fan Appreciation Week, right? Lots of giveaways. And Philip, I hope you're still watching because we have one of your boys in this story. One of my students at UNLV put together a really cool piece just about Fan Appreciation Week, and there's some familiar faces that are in this story. Take a look.
We're here at T-Mobile Arena for Vegas Golden Knights Fan Appreciation Week, and we're on a special mission to find the rowdiest Golden Knights fan.
Go Knights, go! Go Knights, go!
Go Knights, go! Woo!
The Golden Knights' first regular season at T-Mobile Arena has come to a close, and owner Bill Foley and company decided to make the final week one to remember for the best fans in the NHL with Fan Appreciation Week, having the Knights play 4 times in 6 days and having free giveaways for all fans in attendance all season long. Fans have piled into the Fortress, and night in and night out, they've made sure to show just how much they love this team.
The team came in here during a time when everybody just didn't know what was going on. There was a lot of hurt people, a lot of emotions, and it just gave people an outlet. And people rallied behind that outlet, and they formed this bond, and that bond just helped this team, and it's just kind of like they fed off of each other.
The season has been a special one for the community, with the Golden Knights retiring the number 58 in their final home game to honor those killed in the October 1st shooting. And with the instant success of the team, it gave the city of Las Vegas just the positive story it needed.
So much of what this team stands for is the coming together of Las Vegas as a city, as fans, as a sports team, all brought together by the events of October 1. So it's always going to be inscribed in the history of the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
The way that the fans support the team, the way that the team supports the community, it's a great blend. I mean, everybody's come together since 1 October. They've just been such a tremendous part of this community. It's absolutely great. They're in our grade schools. They're in our first responder stations. They're just always there, so it's a great thing.
The Golden Knights managed to win the Pacific Division title in their final regular season home game. But the players and Coach Gallant know just how important the fans have been to this team's success.
I think our fans have been unbelievable. I say that every night in our press conferences, and I'm not lying to anybody. We've got the best fans in the league. They're real loud. I can barely hear myself trying to change lines half the time, but that's why we get 4 coaches on the bench to keep yelling at the guys. The next guys are up. But it makes it fun. I know our guys love playing in front of our fans with the noise in this building, and like I said, it's an extra player for us.
Can't say enough about them. They've the passion they've brought to the rink every night, the energy. It's pretty cool to play in front of every game. So I can't thank them enough. It's been a fun season so far, and it's just going to continue to get better.
All right, guys, that's it from Fan Appreciation Week. We'll root for the Golden Knights in the playoffs, but for now, let's go to Beer House. For Rebel Report, I'm David Stepanian. $13. I'm out of here.
Ride that elephant.
Wow.
Poor college kids.
David is underage as well.
Poor college kids.
So he should definitely be gone. That was a really great piece, though.
Very well
I
done.
thought
Thanks.
he did a great job to capture the spirit of what the fans are feeling and what the players are feeling. You had Gallant in that story, James Neal,
right.
And some of the bigger fans. Wolverine fan, Ed Bernstein. Come on, we see Ed everywhere. So I thought that was a good piece and really captures the essence of what was the love affair.
Yeah.
The love affair,
It's been a
which
crazy
you also
season,
have,
man.
Tony.
It's been amazing.
Hence the avatar, avatar change.
He's obviously more of a Lights fan.
Look
right
up
now.
Tony Cordasco on Facebook, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Don't try to friend me. I have too many friends.
Don't at me. Don't at me.
Did you just say
This
don't
guy.
try to friend me?
Don't at me.
All right, yeah, don't at me. Luis, man, how are things going over there? You got anything happening?
So Philip Mueller says that Rick is a god.
Hey,
Oh,
there we
man.
go.
Don't
Getting
give
some
him a
more
Mueller's
love.
a liar.
That's what you
I
give him a
appreciate
complex.
that.
Hey, wait, did somebody score in the game?
It's 2-2.
Still 2-2? Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna let Luis do his thing?
Back to you, Luis.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Tiffany Castanino says, did he get an A on the project? As in talking about David, John.
I'll think about that.
I think we gave him the panel gave him an A.
I think he did it. Okay.
Yeah, he did very well.
We might give him a passing grade.
Yeah, everybody on
Tough grader.
on Facebook thinks that he did a great job, so I think you should give him an A.
Thanks, Luis.
Yeah.
Former Rebel Report student right
Yeah,
here.
there we go.
One of my prize students, Luis. And,
That's your prize student over there?
Your voice carries no weight as far as my grades go, though. So,
And there you
just
go.
Oh, cool.
He's here now. Of course he's my prize student. House sat for me the other week. Great job.
Nice.
The house did not burn down. So
The party was great, by the
Congratulations.
way.
That was great.
That was a great
You were
party.
there, you were there at the party, Luis?
I heard about the party.
Yeah.
Couldn't throw a party because of your right-hand neighbors. They seem
Yeah.
kinda
Oh, that's right.
quiet.
They did see you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Shady character
Let's,
in your house.
Do we have 4 more?
Yeah.
videos?
How much more do you want to go on? We'll go as long as this side of the table, wants to go on the best team in Las Vegas.
Do we have any
Let's
Rangers
talk
video?
about-
No, we
Let's
don't.
talk about the Raider Nation.
Raiders.
Former Raider punter Marquette King signs a 3-year deal with the Denver Broncos today. Coach John Gruden
surprised you? That
and his
surprised
staff
me.
cut King this week.
Did that surprise
It
you?
was reported
Really?
that Gruden had problems
Money.
with King's antics and personalities.
Shenanigans.
Did
Not
you
money?
guys see
Save some
Bruce
capital in
Irvin's
there.
tweet today? Bruce Irvin said, y'all knew that that's where he wanted to be all along, shortly after it was announced today.
Hey, bye.
I think there were
I mean-
a lot of issues in that clubhouse last year.
Yeah,
really?
without question.
I mean,
Marquette King is.
they're
he's-
starting to come to the fore, right?
King's a knucklehead. King's all about himself. He wants to be.
I
He
like
wants
the
to
guy.
be the show. You
He's
can
gonna
like him.
average
He's in
50
Denver
yards
now.
a
Go
punt
ahead,
in
like
Denver.
him.
50 yards a punt he'll average in Denver.
And you know
next
what?
season.
That's great because Denver's probably going to punt a lot. So good for them. They don't have any offense, so
50
they can
yards.
punt all day long. King was a knucklehead in that locker room. He did things to rub those guys the wrong way. Your punter shouldn't know anything about your punter. Your punter should go out, kick the ball, and go back to the sideline. He shouldn't be out there drawing 15-yard penalties. He shouldn't be on social media making a fool out of himself, irritating the people on his team by rubbing elbows with Talib and playing the chain yanking game over there. He pissed off that locker room, and he's gone. I'm fine with it.
Well, and I think we saw that Gruden's not going to put up with that kind of stuff.
No.
I mean, King said that he never met with Gruden, but I think Gruden coming in, had an idea of who needed to go.
He didn't have to meet with him to know what kind of character he was getting out of him, and I'm sure he talked to guys in that locker room, or at least coaches that have been around him that know what's going on.
He observed, what he did. I'm sure he saw him.
We made this point on the podcast. You can find it on Spreaker, Sports Adrenaline Las Vegas, that he really wasn't, while being an elite punter and being a Pro Bowl punter, he was worth 3 yards. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Him versus the rest, an average punter, 3 net yards more per punt, which, when it comes down to it,
$1 million a yard, $1 million a
million
yard.
a yard, right? He's a
So
$3 million a year punter.
Yeah.
But we were also making the argument, too, that, if he wasn't such a problem child, maybe you do go ahead and pay him the money and, just
He
call
still
it
had
a
2
day.
years left. I mean,
Right.
yeah, he had 2 years
But
left.
his contract was too high.
Yeah, he was making too much money. He was too much of a problem. And, I mean, they probably would have cut him either way because, like you mentioned, they're trying to get that salary cap number down because they want to have room. You still have the draft coming up where you need to sign guys.
I mentioned that.
So, yeah, I mean, there's that factor involved. But the fact that he was such a locker room problem made the decision easy. You get rid of that kind of stuff.
So you're going to be stuck now with Colby Wadman, the rookie from UC Davis?
Well, they're going to have a competition.
Yeah, it's not like they're not going to have a punter. There's 32 teams in the NFL with a punter, and only one of them has ever had Marquette King. They're going to be fine.
I had no problems with King.
They're not winning or losing games because their punter got 48 yards instead of 45. It's not going to happen.
This just in, Oilers scored 3-2.
Is it late? It's got to be late, right?
About 10 minutes left.
9.5 to play.
Okay, we'll keep
That's
you
it.
up to date.
The wheels are falling off.
Skates are falling off.
Even though this game
it's
is
over.
It
completely
doesn't matter
irrelevant.
if they tank these
It's
two
over.
because Nashville's
that's why
already
everybody's
secured
resting.
everything. Yeah.
Here he's going to score the game-tying goal.
Hey.
I'm
We need another
calling my
shootout.
shot.
Yeah, another shootout.
Calling my shot.
So
Theodore
Gary
with
and
the
Conley,
shootout.
back to Raider talk.
You realize, though, that Subban has not given up a goal in the shootout
Pretty
all
phenomenal.
year?
Pretty phenomenal. I
It
mean,
is.
those were some weak shots the other night.
That was
I
that was the
couldn't say
ugliest shootout I've ever
But when you
seen.
look at that's his fourth
Horrendous.
shootout that he's faced, and he has not given up a goal.
I don't think anybody got an actual shot off until Theodore.
That's
That was
it.
ugly.
Theodore scores a game winner because he was actually able to put the ball in net.
That's still
the ball?
valid.
They play with
Look,
a
I'm
puck
trying
in
to
hockey,
talk.
man.
I'm talking football, and you guys are confused.
Knights are terrible. They play with the
I'm
ball.
surprised
Gary and
anybody's
Conley,
watching this show right
Gary
now.
and Conley tweets out this week, can't wait to be back at the facility around people who actually motivated and somewhat think like me. What can we
Somewhat
read into?
think like me.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm reading what he posted.
What can we
Can
read
we
into that?
look-
First
yeah.
of all, that he didn't go to class much.
Okay.
And second of all,
That's a good point.
second of all, that it was a bigger problem in the locker room than a lot of people knew about.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. That's what I was
I got a
thinking.
right answer. Did
Yeah.
you get that?
Finally.
Yes.
Took the whole show.
Somebody say hello to me on this, please. Somebody go on the comments and say hi, Rick.
Somebody already called you.
I'll send you a Sports Adrenaline shirt. This
Look,
one.
again, the fact
Wait,
is,
he commented. Check
King
this in
thinks
the
he's
mail.
above the team, and now he can go be above Denver's team, whatever's going on over there. They're a mess anyways.
So there's 18 new players on the roster that weren't on the roster last year, as of currently. Then you're gonna have more with the draft, and who knows what else happens, right? The Raiders this past week signed wide receiver return specialist Dwayne Harris.
Bye-bye, Griff Whalen.
Griff Whalen is a god. Griff
Still don't know.
He's gonna.
I don't know who Griff Whalen is.
Griff
Whalen
Whalen
has-
Griff Whalen is the guy that Tony swore up and down was going to be.
He's going to be the returner, and he's
Cordell
just going to hang on.
Patterson's
He's just
replacement.
going to hang on. He's just going to hang on to the ball.
Even though he's only got
That's all
like
he has to
6
do.
catches in the
Did you see
last
that?
decade.
John, did you see that?
No.
That's great. Look at your comments.
Okay.
Comments. Yeah. So anyway, no, that should help them a little
funny.
bit. So Dwayne
Way
Harris,
to go, Tiff. Nice job.
punt returner, 157 yards, an average of 10 yards per return, 3 touchdowns career, 130 kickoffs with an average of 12 yards per return, 1 TD, and the 2016 Special Teams Pro Bowl selection. So it's pretty good.
Okay, of all the signees, I mean, take out Jordy Nelson. Who do you think is the most impact signee so far?
I think there is one really.
Well,
I think
of
a
the
lot of
ones.
this is filling holes. I think you need 90 guys on the roster going into camp because you need competition to get down to that 53-man roster. I think the majority of the guys that have been signed are going to go away. They're going to end up getting cut.
Okay, then we'll take that angle. Which ones of them do you think stick? And which one do you think?
I don't know. I mean, that we got to see what they do in the draft. If they go heavy corner, especially in the first couple of rounds, which I think first round they will go corner, then you've got to assume a couple of these guys are going to go. I think Reggie Nelson has been brought back to teach these guys how to play in Gunther's defense. He'll be there. He'll be part of the 53-man roster. He's not going to be a starter.
He wasn't very good last
He'll be a piece that you can bring in when you need it, but
somebody
he's
like
going to be there
Gilchrist,
to mentor these guys in that defense.
You think somebody like Gilchrist in the defensive secondary?
Could be. I mean, we'll see what they get out of this draft. I mean, if you have a great draft and these kids come into camp and they blow the doors off of the old guys, then those guys got to go. But again, you need 90 guys. You need to fill roster spots right now heading into camp along with the guys that you're going to draft in a couple of weeks.
Right.
So I wouldn't look too much into it yet.
Tomorrow, linebacker Junior Gillette visits Oakland, from the Kansas City Chiefs, free agent. So maybe he'll sign, right?
A lot of shifting in the AFC West this offseason. I mean, it just
just
seems that way.
With each other?
Yeah.
That seems like that's what's been happening. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it on
I
on
can't wait for this next segment.
Well, bizarre story today out of New York in the UFC, media day for UFC 223 at Barclays Center in New York.
So strange.
And it turned into a circus earlier today when Conor McGregor shows up with an entourage that attacks a bus that was carrying several UFC fighters. McGregor threw a bicycle rack or like one of those crowd barriers like toward the bus. And then you can see another.
Then rips apart a trash can and tries to throw it in.
He ripped apart the trash can, but he picked up one of those dollies or carts and he threw that, and that's what broke a window, and in turn really injured Michael Chiesa, who sustained cuts from broken glass on his face. So he was sent to the hospital, and now his fight has been canceled against Anthony Pettis. So 3 fights have been canceled as a result of this. Labov, Caceres, Chiesa, Pettis, and Borg Marino, 3 fights canceled as a result. And, today, I mean, you could just tell that the UFC has had about enough out of Conor McGregor. And President Dana White said late today that McGregor's going to be going to jail and that there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. A lot of lawsuits coming up against him. I mean, if guys can't fight as a result of him causing injury.
He better pay their paycheck is what he better do. I mean, if he has a heart, we know he has $100 million.
I doubt that that's all there still.
He should have to pay for what the card would have brought in. I mean, do the estimations, and that's what he should have to pay for it. And
Joe, and there's no inclination as to why he. I mean, we get that there's enough cursory stuff, but he didn't come out and say, "Hey, you can't take my belt. Let me throw a dolly at your bus."
Yeah, he was mad about them taking his belt, and then there was a fight or a little skirmish in the hotel lobby, I guess on Tuesday night, between Khabib and a McGregor teammate, Artem Lobov, who also had his fight canceled as a result of this altercation. And I mean, that was just.
There still haven't been any charges filed. The police said it's still an ongoing investigation.
Did you hear what they said?
So Dana White to come out and just say, "Oh, he's going to jail,"
well,
it's just him venting like he does.
So the police want Conor to come forward and meet with them, and if he doesn't, then they're going to have to go after Conor McGregor, and then.
Well, there was a warrant put out for his arrest.
Yeah, they're going to have to detain him.
And they're just. I'm sure that you can imagine the camera crews around that police station waiting for Conor to arrive.
I don't know. I read that that's what Dana said, but the police said there is no warrant. So they're still investigating.
As of what time?
This was, I don't know, an hour ago when I read the story.
Yeah,
So
it was Dana that said that he was going to be arrested.
Breaking news. Luis's pieces. Luis, let's check in with you.
2 minutes ago, he's in custody by the New York Police
there you go.
Department.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, so the police must
2
have
minutes.
found something.
Yeah. So it's assault.
So he could be gone already.
So it's a 2 minute penalty? What is it?
No, it was 2 minutes ago.
Minor.
I just got posted.
Oh, that was a double minor.
Okay.
So that was for assault?
Yeah, for assault charges.
Wow. So he's not leaving New York anytime.
Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it.
He's a
And
knucklehead.
I would like to see it, but I think he's beyond that because I don't know if it's the right comparison right now, but it's the only one I can think of. Is he turning into a Mayweather that's just in kind of denial?
Hey.
Sorry, let me look this way. Is he turning into a Mayweather?
Are you defending Mayweather now?
Right.
I've always defended Mayweather.
For
In
what
the sense
possible
of
reason?
Denial of everything that's been
One of the
around
best
him, right?
fighters
Mayweather's
in
had
the
plenty of
history of
controversy around him about whatever it be jail time or whatever it is. Or does he come out and apologize and say, sorry, I ruined the fights for these up-and-coming guys that
No way he does that.
That need a paycheck.
No way he does that.
Well, I mean, it's an opportunity, and clearly I don't believe that he's going to do it either, which shows you who he is. And I love Conor McGregor coming up, but I think I've really turned on him just since.
And that's a death sentence right there.
It is. Well, I think the country overall is going to turn on him. I mean,
you know what?
he's
I'm tired of people acting like punks and
Right.
thinking that they can just do whatever they want and get away with it. There are repercussions to actions, and he needs to pay the price for what he did. And Melissa, thanks for watching. I'm going to step on Luis's toes here. She says there are women fighters on the bus along with another woman who was a UFC employee who were injured too. So, I mean, a lot of people
One of the headlines.
injured and affected in this, and it's just stupidity. And you can't, you're not above that when just because you've got a beef. And the right things have to be done with this, and make an example, because I mean, if you let, it's kind of what the Nevada Athletic Commission did with the whole Canelo Triple G thing. You've got to take a stance and you've got to be firm, even if in the long run you think it's going to cost you something potentially. But done with these people. It's ridiculous, and we've got to use Matt's term. We're done with knuckleheads. No more.
Right.
And that's essentially what they are. They're fighters who make way too much money and think they're above the law and can do whatever they want to do. And this is what happens when you get crap like that. And we've seen Tony's boy Mayweather do it how many times?
Lindbergh just scored 4-3.
How much time?
5.5 to play.
Oh, okay. Perry still has a chance to tie it up.
Yes, he does.
Former Ranger.
Current Golden Knight.
So close the book on that?
Yeah, terrible scenario.
So now, again, the UFC, though, this is a real watered-down event now. It started out, it was going to be a blockbuster, right? And then Tony Ferguson backed out.
You know, this is the issue with the UFC doing a ridiculous pay-per-view every single month.
I know, but
like, do a fight every month.
There's too much that can go wrong every single month.
That should never happen. And
but
shouldn't there have been
look
better
at the fight
security
game.
around the fighters?
Look at the fight game right now. I mean, between
Oh,
Canelo.
that's any arena in the country.
Yeah, that's
though.
You can't have 8,000 armed police officers around every single event because you anticipate some nonsense like this to go down.
Because somebody's stupid. You know, I mean, it's hard to defend against stupidity. It's hard to defend against evil, and it's hard to defend against stupidity. And Conor McGregor was stupid.
Yeah, is stupid. Will continue to be stupid.
So now, Rick had alluded to it. So the Canelo Alvarez Gennady Golovkin fight is officially off, scheduled for Cinco de Mayo. Canelo said, "I did not take clenbuterol," and I
did.
Was shocked that he could even pronounce that word. So that's a banned
I'm shocked
substance.
that you could.
And so, any word on whether Triple G that he's still going to fight, because he applied for a license now to fight at the MGM Grand.
He'll
much smaller.
Well, he got it.
So yes,
he'll fight. It's just who's he going to fight against?
He'll fight. There'll probably be 6,000 people there, and it'll be. I mean, I don't even know who his opponent's going to be. To be honest, it's going to be a throw-in.
Yeah,
it's got to be somebody who's somewhat ready.
Yeah,
ready to go.
3 or 4.
And you're only a month away.
That didn't fit. That are in the division.
Charlo would be a good fight, but he's got to come up. I think he's at 154 right now.
Covering your mic.
So
I don't know if that's a bad thing, but you're
not TV guy. Clearly, Tony isn't, so he wouldn't know.
Well, he's wearing my scarf for anyways.
Was I muffled?
Yeah,
yes.
probably.
They didn't hear anything you said in the last 5 minutes.
Thank God.
The last thing I said was
unimportant.
Rangers.
Luis, how are things going over there?
Melissa is just still talking about the UFC, that the UFC is going to have problems getting another fight in New York after this incident.
Oh, good point. Yeah, very good point, because they fought so hard to get it.
She also says, can't hear Tony.
Which, are you complaining? No.
Yeah. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, that is a good thing.
1, 2. Yeah.
Luis, have you had one of those apples yet?
I haven't. Are they good?
They're in front of you. You tell us, man.
I don't know. Yeah. Hey,
juggle them or something.
Go for it, man. Juggle them. What else? Anything?
Tiffany apologized for saying that Rick was...
There's no apology necessary,
and
Tiff.
She said John was actually her favorite.
Whatever.
Yeah. See, you know what? She's the kind of person that really has compassion for other people.
Somebody else that's on,
down and out.
make a comment, say hello to me, please. Just say hello, Rick, please. Somebody say hello.
And then one other boxing note as we return to action. So Deontay Wilder says earlier this week he's accepted a challenge from the heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua to unify all the title belts.
Man.
And
make this
who
happen.
knows what's going to happen. But I just, neither were,
make a
in
good
my
fight happen,
estimation,
right?
neither were impressive in their last fights.
But, I mean, those are, for all intents and purposes, those are tune-up fights. But I
Right.
know they were against decent opponents,
Yeah.
but they both fought guys who like to get in the ring and box.
But
and
Joseph
they were
Parker
able.
throws bombs, and they didn't even fight.
I
It
mean,
was
are
jabs.
you
It was
going to take that
jabs.
chance though? Would you take that chance?
Yes.
Absolutely not. You wouldn't take that
Yes,
chance.
I would.
Oh,
I mean-
Edmonton again just scored.
While you two talk
No, I don't.
5-3 Edmonton.
5-3 Edmonton.
That's the fight that needs to happen to take this quote unquote black eye off of the fight game right now between what's going on with Canelo and Conor McGregor and just all the out of the ring nonsense. This is the fight that we need to see because it's a heavyweight championship fight between the two best undefeated title wearing champions in the sport. I say bring it.
So
bring it in Europe, bring it to Vegas, New York, I don't care. Just make the fight.
So what happened?
I'm doing a show here.
So they
John.
said no goal because of what reason? Were they in the crease?
It was goalie interference.
Goalie interference.
Okay.
Penalty. Looks like penalty. Oh, penalty.
Yeah, Vegas on the power play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, power play. There we go.
Power play.
So the last 2 minutes of the show will be a 2-minute power play for Vegas.
Okay.
They struggle, Tony. They struggle on the power play. 8th in the NHL, I believe they are on the power play.
Eighth in killing the power.
They start off
penalty
slow.
kill
They
too.
start
Eighth
off
on both
slow.
sides of it.
Yeah,
Eighth on both sides.
And they start off slow.
they're terrible on the power play as well.
And they start off very, very slow. Like they had that
very, very
streak.
slow.
Okay. The Las Vegas 51s.
6 on 4, right? The last 2 minutes. That's what it'll be. 6 on 4.
I don't know.
Yeah, they'll pull a goal.
No, yeah.
The Las Vegas 51s start their final season as the New York Mets affiliate and also as a tenant of Cashman Field tonight.
Yeah, how about that?
The El
Bittersweet,
Paso
right?
Chihuahuas are in town. That's
I like
it.
it.
I mean, I have
Bless
nothing
you.
else.
No, it's good.
Unless
You know,
you're back there in the booth.
like I said, it's kind of bittersweet. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all been going to Cashman Field since, I'm sure you, just like me, since we were
Opening day.
4.5 years old.
Well, but the beauty of it is Cashman's not going away, and they have a tenant who loves to be there, and so ole, ole, ole.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm talking about the scars.
okay.
The lights.
Stay with us.
UNLV
Who are
Sports-
undefeated at this point.
Yes, 2-0-1.
Yes.
UNLV Sports, the Masters, Charlie Hoffman, right?
Oh yeah, my boy. Now, if you've been following the show, if you've been following the show at all, since the last Masters, you'll know my take on Charlie Hoffman.
And I know what it is, but tell the folks.
Hoffman will be around for Thursday and Friday, but come Saturday, you will not see him anywhere on the leaderboard, or Sunday. Maybe he manages to make it through Saturday.
What has he
but
made
for
in
sure
his career,
Sunday,
though? Because he's like 20,
right.
30
He's
million?
in it 2 days.
25 million?
And then, what did you say, Rick? Go ahead. I'll give you your great take on
Charlie Hoffman is the Samuel L. Jackson of golf
Yep.
because he's in every
He's
tournament.
in everything. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you.
Good take. I
Good
like
take,
that.
good take.
I teed you up.
I appreciate
teed you
that.
up. Nice.
All right.
Yeah, so say hi
I
to
knocked
Rick.
it right down
Say
the
hi to
center.
Rick now.
I just saw
Somebody say hello to me,
No,
please.
no. The Golden Knights Twitter handle just stole that line.
Which one?
His last line.
6 on 4.
I thought it was your Mayflower.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mayflower is going to come. That'll be there. Marcia So Madness will be there. Baseball, Rebel Baseball, dropping out of the top 25 this week. They lost 3 straight series, San Diego State, Reno, and then
At Grand Canyon.
2 straight at Grand Canyon this week.
Mm-hmm.
Now
That's where my daughters are, by
Yeah,
the way.
I think you were
I know.
cheering for him.
Well, I was rooting for the Rebs.
Rebels are in Morgantown,
I'm waiting
West
for Tony
Virginia.
to start talking about how UNLV baseball is going to fade.
So a doubleheader on Friday
That's
and a
good.
single game on Sunday. Bad weather forecasted as
Uh-oh.
postponed
Uh-oh.
Saturday's game, and the Rebels are currently ranked 26. They won't be next week, but the next home game will be against Arizona State on Tuesday night.
Well, they have 2 in the mid-season All-American, one first team, one second team mid-season All-Americans, which is Kyle Isbell and Bryson Stott.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 very good players.
I called play-by-play when his dad, Stott's dad, Derek Stott, was the quarterback at UNLV. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
That shows you,
His dad
again,
was
how
a
old
former
Tony is.
UNLV
knows.
quarterback back in the day, they say.
Sorry, well, we're all mesmerized.
Yeah, they're watching hockey. So
Game's
I'll just
over.
fill you in.
I'm listening.
Okay.
So I'll fill you in.
4-3 is the final.
10
UNLV,
seconds left on our feed.
UNLV football.
This one's over. I don't think they'll
so-
score on that one.
Got it.
The Rebels returned to the practice field after spring break. Good week of practice. One of the positive signs this week was the return of Charles Williams back
Oh,
in the
no, see, that's just
backfield
not nice.
following an injury that kept him out all of last season. won a couple of years ago. He actually rushed for 763 yards, and Coach Tony Sanchez got on him for lack of ball security. Also had some problems catching the ball out of the backfield, and some of that actually kept coming up again today. And then linebacker Jacob Rominger returns to the practice field, and that's good news after suffering the ACL injury last season, so he came back this week. And we are finally really pumped up because we see some work being done on the new Fertitta football complex.
Yeah, they've got fences up and everything.
They have fences inside of fences.
Which makes it really far for us to have to walk to get onto the practice field, but that's okay.
And they
Start digging.
They also took away my VIP parking place, so I got a ticket on campus yesterday. Thank you. And
I've gotten a few
use
of
the
those.
meter,
So
Tony.
I'm guessing that all the heavy equipment, right, would come in after spring practice is done, which is in a week.
You had your media badge up, and they still gave you. Tony has a year-round media badge up. Was it UNLV basketball? You had the media pass up.
Yeah, I still have.
You still
From
got
the 91
ticketed by
season?
UNLV parking enforcement. Us faculty and students, former students, we know the pain of UNLV parking.
Yeah.
I know all about
Yes,
that.
I actually got 2 tickets in 1 week.
When
nobody cares.
No one cares.
I do. I feel your pain.
So when I worked full time at UNLV, before I could get my final check of $1.32, they took out all of my parking fees dating back to like the TARC era, dating back to I think when I was a student there.
Yeah.
It was like
So is that how
like
they
$1,100?
Is that how they did the new part of the Thomas and Mack Center with all of
That's
your
right.
parking fees?
They stole the T.
Pay your tickets, kids.
What else do we have here? Let's wind it down here. The USL Lights, Las Vegas Lights, 2-0-1. They defeated Swope Park, the Rangers, last Saturday at Cashman. Winning goal was an own goal by Swope Park in the 71st minute when Colton Storm headed the ball toward his goalkeeper, Eric Dick, who's coming out of the net, and Storm put it into his own goal. So that was it, 2-1.
Thank you for that,
Hey,
by the way.
number 4 in the league in average attendance right now, the Lights.
That's great.
Filling up Cashman Field, man.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
With
Next
only
game
having
going.
two sides of a field, that's pretty good.
Next game, April 14th, 8 p.m. against the Sacramento Republic FC. Were you at the last game, Luis? All right. So
Hey, you got a take for us?
So if I was talking to Ryan, the director of communications.
Ryan Green, yeah.
Right, and we're talking about like, are the Lights ever going to have an affiliate team like in the MLS, like most of the USL teams have? And he said they don't want to do that because they want to become an MLS team.
Within
for
5 years.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like that. Yeah, within 5 years they'll
So-
be an MLS team.
Yeah, so if you love soccer, it's going to grow a lot out here.
Beautiful.
Thank-
More the
thanks
merrier.
for that.
Bring them
Good
in.
insight, Luis.
Good stuff there. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What do we have? NHRA in town?
Yeah, 4 wide.
4 wide.
No, we have video of that. Do you want to see? There it
There
is.
it is.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa, that was right
Yeah.
on. Bam. You
Rich
mentioned
is
NHRA.
on the button.
Yeah, Rich Giacovino. Thank you, sir. 4 wide. And you can see that's
there's 4
Haley
lanes
Brooks
now.
blew us off this week.
Yeah.
I think she's out at the strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Although she was
sending in
watching
some
earlier.
Fantastic video of practice runs
It's the
today.
Fan Fest tonight.
Yeah, and this is something kids under 12 get in free, and every ticket is a pit pass. Not to shamelessly plug them, but it's one of those events. Don't knock it until you get out there. You're seeing the fastest vehicles in all of motorsports, right? 0 to 300 in 4 seconds. I mean, it's pretty. It'll give you whiplash.
Yeah.
It'd be really loud, so bring your earplugs.
It's
It's a lot of
with
those.
2 cars.
Those races are great.
But the
I
4
did
wide
slab
is a
with
big
2.
deal.
I did
4
something
wide
like
is
that on
three
the
4
215
wide.
today.
So,
Yeah, only one other track in the country has the 4
215?
lanes out
Right.
there.
Is that it?
So
Yeah.
they do practice runs. Is it today, tomorrow, and Saturday? Tomorrow, Saturday,
Fan
and
Fest,
then
yeah,
the finales on Sunday.
Yep.
Great stuff. And then also this past week, the 2019 NASCAR dates were announced. So March the 3rd and September 15th for next year.
Big weekend there.
Yeah. So they just continue to build that. And it's good. They get the dates a year out, so a lot of folks can come to Las Vegas. Let's head into our final thoughts.
Yeah, good, because I just yawned. In case
Yeah, we don't really. That wasn't really cool.
John's having a blast, apparently.
Luis, do you have any final thoughts there? There anyone chiming in or anyone want to talk to you? or-
No, everybody's pretty done for the
spent?
night. I could tell.
They're ready for bed.
Who said bring
they
back Babbling Brooks?
Yeah,
That was good.
and then Melissa agreed with that, so
She
I guess I
agreed.
did a
She
bad
liked it.
job.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
join the club.
So, all right. So a week off for the lights. We'll see you out there next week. Thank you, Luis. You're the man. Cheers. Cheerio. Rick
Yeah, we
Strasser.
better get off the air really quickly.
Yeah. It's
All right.
been a long week.
Final thought.
Yeah.
In an interview aired earlier tonight, the GM for the Golden Knights, George McPhee, said that when they put this team together, they were obviously looking for quality players, but they were actually also looking for quality individuals. And he was looking for character. Character still matters in sports. And I know there's no connection between the two, but on the flip side of this week the Los Angeles Rams signed Ndamukong Suh, Akeem Talib, and Marcus Peters to their defense. While they may be good players, what kind of locker room is that going to be when you get these three knuckleheads in the same place, and what kind of problems are they going to have? Character still matters.
Very good. Matt?
Final thought is Pat McCaw. I got a message from his mom, Teresa, today, who, if you've ever met McCaw's family, they are amazing top to bottom. But she said that McCaw is doing better. He's still really sore, kind of beat up, but dealing with the pain and on the mend. And I know all of us here, as well as the entire Rebel family, thinking about McCaw and hoping he gets better sooner than later.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of gave my final thought earlier, but considering...
Good. Moving on.
No, you don't get two final
Oh,
thoughts
sorry.
this week. Considering he was just arrested, Conor McGregor, it's interesting how $100 million can change a person, and I guess you could justify it to a certain extent, but why can't these guys be humble? Why can't these guys be good examples to society? You look at him, you look at Mayweather. Maybe you look at Manny Pacquiao on the other side, although he's had controversy in his lifetime as well. But this video involving McGregor is just a joke, and it really is. And I know we use the cliche a lot. It's a black eye on the sport of MMA, combat sports. It's to the point now where I'm really thinking about boycotting, watching this kind of stuff, even though it's been surrounded around boxing and the UFC for a while, just these kind of antics. I mean, it's really going overboard, and like Matt said, they have too many fights anyway. I think it's to the point now where we consider just not watching these fights go down when they happen. Maybe I'll Periscope one.
Very cool. My final thought, I am calling it perhaps the most important hire in UNLV school history. I am. The person that succeeds President Len Jessup at the post of presidency, right, effective July the 1st, when Jessup moves on, has to be someone that supports athletics at UNLV, has to have vision for the future. It's such a critical time, right, for the school and for the future, especially of the revenue-generating sports, which are now non-revenue-generating sports, namely football and basketball. The football program just a couple of seasons away right now from playing at the new Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. The next school president has to have that vision for growth, a move to the Power 5 conference, a Power 5 conference, I should say. The program has to be competitive, has to be like more entertaining than ever before, because you have to put fans into a larger stadium. They have to talk about the product on the field, the marketing of the product. This person has to be all in. The basketball program has to win, get more fans in the stands at Rebel games. What other resources are needed to be appropriated for the running Rebels? I think that's a major question. I can't see any, but what do they need to be successful here? But this president has to be on board. And also, I think, most importantly, can we have a UNLV president that can coexist with the Board of Regents?
Tony, you've got my vote.
And fix the logo.
So we need to have consistency there as president of UNLV, someone who can stay around, build the athletics programs, build them to prominence and profitability. That's it. So we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in.
What's with you and the slow clap lately? It's been your thing for the last couple of days.
Next week, will you
Tony's
guys
been
have...
so enthralling with his speeches the last couple times, I think he's deserved it.
Will you guys have your playoff beards next week? I mean,
that's
the fan...
I was thinking about shaving before
Fanboy Central.
and letting it grow until they
look at Tony's avatar on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't have a
But don't
playoff
request
beard
him as a friend.
Call him
I have
Antonio.
a 9, yeah. I get a playoff beard like every day. So we thank everyone for tuning in.
Mean.
Haley Brooks, thank you for your contribution to tonight's show. Of course, she's off, and she'll be back next week. Luis Negretti.
Luis's Lounge.
Luis's Lounge. Okay, I like Luis's pieces. That was whatever.
Don't
But
say
thank
that.
you, Luis.
Don't say that anymore, please.
Okay.
I like it.
For John Castanino, for Rick Strasser, for Matt Gutierrez, for our producer, Richard Giacovino.
Thanks, Rich.
I'm Tony Cardasco. Good night from Las Vegas, and we'll see you right here next week on the Sports Adrenaline Las Vegas show. Good night.